Good morning, St. Louis. It is 7 a.m. on a Tuesday. So y'all know what time it is. It is time for the St. Louis Hustle Podcast with Cortez Hustle and my girl, Michelle A. And today, we thought since we are coming up on this Christmas holiday, and I know if you're anything like me, your money game is all over the place, right? So we want to ask, is your spending habits in alignment with your priorities? And we're gonna give you a pass because we know it's Christmas, and I know ain't nobody spending habits lined up with nothing. It's all out the window. So comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and or your brand, and smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen. And I think we're gonna kick it this morning. Yeah, we're gonna kick it this morning. Let's kick it.
Growing up in St. Louis has never been easy, and most say if you want to succeed here, that you must leave and put down roots somewhere else because of the strong crabs in a barrel mentality here.
I don't know if I'm just an optimistic person, but to see people like Chuck Berry and Nelly make it in the music industry, or the Roberts brothers and Dave Stewart in business, or William Lacey Clay Jr. in politics, can we blame the city, or is it that people just aren't hungry enough?
We're talking to all of the movers and shakers in this town, from entertainers to politicians, social activists and organizers, and of course, entrepreneurs.
Is there a curse on this city that holds people back? Is there an unseen hand that decides who makes it and who doesn't? You're about to find out.
Welcome to St. Louis Hustle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. That's my girl, Michelle A. And we are coming to you live and direct from the Black Bear Success Mastermind Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri. If you are a business owner and you're looking for a community to partner with to help you grow and scale that business to the next level, then you, my friend, need to text Mastermind at 314-866-4053. We literally give away hundreds of dollars in free tools, resources, trainings to entrepreneurs every single week to help you grow and scale your business, because we're on a mission to help Black people become the #1 employers of Black people in the next 2 generations. And it starts with this mastermind. So text Mastermind at 314-866-4053 to get your special invitation to join. Shelly.
Woo! Man, oh man. So let me tell you something. So this weekend was the official kickoff of my birthday season, because Black folks got to have birthday season. We don't just get a birthday; we get a birthday season. And so, Saturday was the kickoff, and I had my 50th birthday party, and it was so awesome, man. Shout out to everybody that fell through, that just came through the show, showed me a little love for my 50th. Some of the people, James LaCoco came out, him and the missus, Mr. Mr. Honest Love with the Coco. That's his song. He don't even know what the song about. He'd be like, that's my song. James Nelson, Mr. Unbreakable himself, James Nelson came out, man. That's good stuff. So lots of people came out, and we all had a ball. And shout out to Al's Lounge, right? So that's why I hosted it. That's why I do a lot of stuff at is Al's Lounge. And he actually offered me an opportunity to either do one of two things. Either if I wanted to do a book signing or a re-release of the book when I do revisions, or when I do the Who in the Heck Do You Think You Are, the Toolbox Edition. He offered me, he has another venue. He offered me that venue and promotion to for in exchange for doing a book release or signing at his venue. He would promote, he would push it throughout both his businesses, and he offered that to me. I gave him a book way back when we did the original release, and it was that was big. I didn't think he would remember, and for him to offer his venue to me and offer to promote, just try to see, try to keep Black people in business for themselves. That was big. So shout out to Al at Al's Lounge. That was real big. We're gonna follow up on that.
We got a good happy birthday to you from my man Mark Presswood. He said, enjoy.
Thank you. Oh, look at that, 29. Again, I figured I'd go ahead and turn 50 since I was turning 29 and 39 and 49 for so many years. I go give it up and turn 50.
We have
So
to get
many.
Brother Al on the show, though, Michelle. We have to get Brother Al
Okay.
on the show.
Yeah, you know what?
And-
Absolutely. I will talk to him about that opportunity because he is a very unique business owner, but when he does these trips out of town, he takes a whole bar with him. He has a big coach bus. And he has his own coach bus. He ain't got to rent one because he got his own. And he just, hey, you know, man, everybody pay maybe $10, $20, $30 to get on. We all go up to Chicago or to Memphis, and he takes the whole damn spot. We come there in his clothes. That's because he done moved the bar, took him somewhere on the road.
The bar is on the road.
The bar is on the road. He has a mobile bar. So, yeah, he's good. He's good people, good local guy. But just, I've heard several other small business people say that, man, he's really been a help. He's helping, last thing, he's helping 2 of his bartenders open their own establishment.
Wow.
Now,
where they do that at? Like, I want to help my top people open their own spot, which means I'm going to lose 2 of my top people.
Right. But helping them get there. Thank you.
How do I keep them under my thumb?
Absolutely. He is not like that.
Let alone helping them get their own. How about paying them a decent wage?
You hear me? Do you hear me? You know, but he runs just a fair business. I love his motto is, you know, it's Al's Lounge, where we mind our business and we do what we want to do because we're grown. And he said, if he always says this, if you notice something going on up here that you don't like, come find me and let me walk you to the door. Yeah. He told the whole part. Yeah, so that was the weekend, bro. That was the weekend. What about you in the business? I know y'all was busy.
Yes, busy as usual. Went on a little road trip. Went down and met my sister in Blythesville and delivered a very special package to her.
Nice.
And just got a chance to see her and hug on her for a minute. I thought she was bringing my other 2 sisters with her, but she didn't. So it was just her. So we actually got to go back now south and hang out with my family. But working as usual. Had our event venue rented out, so folks in the studio doing their thing, and just staying busy. I had a training with the media team that I'm part of. Shout out to JP, CEO, and Unheard TV. You guys know that we're launching the Black Bear Success Show on Roku January 5th. Make sure you go to Roku, download the Unheard TV channel.
Come on.
January 5th, your boy will be releasing a brand new show. And we're excited about that. So I got to train some of the other show hosts and the rest of the network on branding and marketing. And it was a wonderful experience. Laid out some stuff. And then I got my personal branding 365 course. I'm probably 87% done with all of the modules and ready to release that thing for the new year. So I'm super excited about the work and all of it's come together.
Mover and a shaker.
Of course, the Black Bear Success app. We brought on 3 more entrepreneurs building their assets on our platform. So you guys know that we launched a software company where we provide the tools and resources for people to build their own websites, their own email autoresponders, their own text message autoresponders, the chat box and widgets and all of that stuff. So it's been a busy weekend. And even yesterday, I shot 2 more episodes of the Black Bear Success Show. Came home, went back to the studio and had people renting out our small theater and our
that's how you get it.
Photo booth. And then we met last night, and I had 4 other meetings on the calendar. It was just grinding. Just grinding. Trying to get those monthly residuals and recurring revenues up in 5 figures. That's
you know what, and that's what it's about. You definitely. I'll say this about you, and this is please, as a huge, tremendous compliment. You are the model, and it's the way I look at you. And you know, you're the model for Black business for me. And because you push through with such perseverance. And although I'm always the person that's late to the party, I'd be like, the party started? When did the party start? I didn't know. When I get to the party, trust me, I'm coming to the door with my invitation to say it. He had said I could be here. He said, I have an invitation right here. I ain't gonna miss the bus. I'm gonna be late on that mug, but I ain't gonna miss the bus again.
Ain't gonna miss it. Wendy Land, good morning. Says welcome. to the St. Louis Hustle
Good
Podcast
morning.
from Lincoln Park, Michigan. All right, so we got a little week going on, Michelle.
Come
All
on,
right, so
Michigan.
that was
I'm
our
gonna get y'all
weekend. I don't
Cabbage Patch.
know what we got going on in St. Louis this weekend because I ain't even
Criminal.
I ain't even checked.
Criminal
But we're
going
gonna
on
go
this
ahead and get on with Michelle A's word of the day.
Me.
So
program.
it is that time, and I'm gonna need you to take a full 2 minutes because I'm about to disappear. So
You said take the full 2 minutes. I would just start beatboxing after a while. I'm gonna go as far as I can, but if you come back and I'm like,
that's right.
Just come here rapping.
On the other side of Michelle A's word of the day, we're going to be talking about your spending priorities and how are they aligned. And we're going to give you a pass for Christmas, right? Because I know I got a couple stories on how my spending habits get out of whack this time of year. But let's get to Michelle A's word of the day.
And now the Michelle A. word of the day.
So, good morning, party people. So, this is the Michelle A. word of the day, right? So, it's a segment of time where I take just a little bit out of our morning to just kind of give you some kind of nugget. And so, as we approach the end of the year, I want to remind everybody to finish strong, right? You still got time. A lot of times we'll get to Christmas or we'll get almost to New Year's and just give up. You know, we throw our hands in the air like, oh well, the year's done and nothing else I can do. But I want to encourage somebody today that there is still time for you to make it. God still has enough time to do that thing that he said he was going to do for you by the end of the year. It can still happen. And let me tell you something. Long as you keep waking up, it can still happen. So it doesn't matter if it happens on December 31st or January 1st, right? It can still happen. I think the key in it is for us not to give up. I think the key in it is for us not to, don't take yourself too serious, right? My kid said this one time, and after I throat checked her, I realized it might have been something in it. She said, Mama, you just need to get over yourself. My reflexes caught her right in the throat because I was like, what the hell you talk to? However, after careful consideration and thought, I was like, maybe I do need to get over myself. Maybe I do take myself too seriously sometimes. And I put too much pressure on myself, right? To complete or to finish. Now, that's not to say that you don't need to work towards a goal. You don't need to work towards an end. However, when you put too much stress on yourself, sometimes we can be our own worst enemy. That can sometimes be the thing that prevents us from finishing the race. We get so tied up in finishing the race, we forget about the process of the race, right? And so because we're so caught up on where we are in finishing, we don't enjoy the ride. And we wind up not finishing, but not because we couldn't, but because we got caught up in what the end was going to be, you know? So as we come to the end of the year, again, I want you guys to be encouraged. Know that you are right where God has you. You're right where you're supposed to be for a reason. And if you feel like you're not making the mark, you still got time to change it, right? You still got time to work in the process. And even if you don't cross the finish line by by December 31st or January 1st, it's okay because your race is not over. Long as you just keep getting up. Just keep getting up, people. All right, so I am Michelle A. That's me, A. And this has been your Michelle A. word of the day. Boom.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, the Michelle A. word of the day is brought to you by the Black Biz Success Mastermind. Ladies and gentlemen, this mastermind community is for three people. It is for the aspiring entrepreneur. We got the tools and resources to help you start a business. It's for the existing entrepreneur ready to grow and scale that business. We got the tools and resources for you. Or maybe you just want to support and network with other Black business owners. Then this network is also for you. So go ahead and text keyword mastermind 314-866-4053. And if you are a Black business owner, you definitely want to take advantage of our Black Biz Success Spotlight, where I actually bring you on screen like this and let you tell our entire network all about your business. And we got a network pushing 150,000 people. So we're trying to help you grow your business, but
absolutely,
you got to bring something to the table. Don't just be a leech, a fly on the wall. Bring your business ideas. Bring your business successes and what you've done to make your business grow so other people can learn from you as
Come
well.
on.
Black
Pet peeve.
Success Mastermind, ladies and gentlemen. All you got to do is text Mastermind at 314-866-4053. Shelley, you got
That's my pet peeve.
What's that?
Real quick. That's my pet peeve. Real quick. When people sit on they brain, when people sit on it, like, I'm not telling them how I did it. They got to get it on their own.
Yeah.
The devil's a liar. Quit letting them use your mouth. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? We are here to be a blessing to each other. Either way you look at it, we're blessed, right? We're here to be a blessing to one another. And I hate it when businesses, period, but especially when Black business, that's the crab in the barrel mentality right there. I did. Nobody helped me. No. Be the change you want to see. Be the person that you wished would have came into your life. Be that for somebody else.
Right.
Last point on that. I'm sorry you just hit that little thing right there and it was like, Here's my thing. When we talk about God's word, we talk about the scriptures. It is one thing to preach the word, but here it is. Why don't you walk out the word? I'm going to leave that right there. Be the scripture instead of just preaching it. Be it. Okay, done. Here we go.
We cannot afford to hoard information.
We can't.
That's what we've been doing for far too long. Right?
It's enough room out there for us all.
Yeah.
It's enough money.
Agree. So we're talking about spending priorities. Shelley, you got any spending priorities? I'll tell you one of mine, right? As a financial health mentor, and I teach personal finance.
Right.
It's been a couple years, Michelle, where I literally spent both November and December mortgage on Christmas for the kids. Like, it's like, I'm gonna catch up when I get my income tax. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be all good.
Yes, sir. There's been some times
I've been down on that road because I'm sure God's got such a giving heart, right? And she's like, man, it's like one of the reasons I go so hard in business because as a man, it's one thing that really nags at me, and especially when my kids were younger. They're all young adults. My youngest is 20 now, so I don't got any babies anymore. But to have kids ask you for things and you have to say no, not because they don't deserve it, but because you can't afford it, right? It would have been different if they was cutting up in school. That's easy. No, boy, you just got suspended. Go sit yourself down somewhere.
Right.
But when they bring home straight A's, they ain't got no problems. They ain't in the streets doing nothing foolish, and they're doing everything they're asked to do, and they still can't get some of the things that they want. Oh man, eats me up inside. So that's why I go so hard in business, and that's why I spent November and December's mortgage on Christmas presents.
Man,
a couple years back to back.
I've done it, and
out of whack, but you know,
it's what we do, and I've done it too. And that what you uttered is what that phrase you uttered is what so many millions of people, black, white, red, brown, we all have done it. I fix it with my income tax. If they ever ended income tax season, boy, niggas would be crazy. What? No more taxes? It wouldn't be like, oh, I ain't gotta pay. No, I don't get a refund. Oh, damn.
This is how we got messed up, Michelle. It kind of did end for us. Like one of those years, we didn't realize that collectively we had made a significant amount of money. So we didn't qualify for earned income tax no more. And having 5 children, that earned income tax was fat for us. So we're gonna fix it with our income tax, and it was almost no income tax come that year. Like, oh, y'all made all y'all money through the year. We ain't got nothing for y'all. Wait, what? We got some stuff from last year that we got to take care of. What you
hear me? I'm like, when my last one left the nest, I was like, wait, I don't what? I gotta go find some kids. I got to go find some kids. Yeah, my spending priorities. Here's the thing. I'm not a numbers person. Therefore, I tend to ignore numbers, especially when they make the most amount of sense. Now, I can count money. That's the important part of numbers. But distributing in such a way where it makes the most sense, not so much all the time. And sometimes my priorities have been off, especially this last, I reflected earlier. I've been an entrepreneur full time for 7 months. Well, no, yeah, 7 months now. And it does not seem, my mind is still saying, oh, I've been not working for like 3 months. No, help. It's been like seven months. And
Right.
yeah, I get one last income tax check. You know, God blessed me where I still made in 5 months, which is crazy, but I still made in 5 months what it used to would take me a year to make. So I think I still have enough deductions I can claim and do all that to have that. I'll fix it with my income tax mentality, but it might be the last one for a little bit. Try to get my hustle game up.
Right.
So, but yeah, priorities. I'm going through it with my daughters now. They've seen us. I've not always prioritized the best. We've been up in the house with gas off. We've been up in the house. Electric ain't never been off, but we had the gas off. And it's been cold and we had to pack it up and go somewhere.
Right.
So, and that was because my priorities weren't aligned. I was, kind of frolicking my funds and instead of being financially responsible. So
yeah,
it happens.
Let's get to it. So when most of your money goes towards providing what's most important to you, you tend to live a more fulfilled life and feel more satisfied with the way you spend your money. It's also easier to stick to your personal finance plan when its objectives are to get you what you really want out of life. Because life priorities can differ drastically from person to person. It's important to be aware of your own personal values. What do you really want from life? What kind of lifestyle do you seek? What are your life goals? Does your spending reflect those things? We got a short list of things that you can do to help determine where these things are. And I'm going to say this, man, about really getting to your values, right? I had a young lady on my show last Friday. She calls herself the identity architect, right? Because she helps people to really hone in on who they are. And right now, and it always has been, but even greater now, we are in a global identity crisis, right? Nobody, the hardest thing to do on this earth is to be yourself. And one of the reasons it's so hard to be yourself is because we haven't defined who we are. We are born into this world where literally everyone and everything around us is telling us who we are.
Yep.
From your parents to your teachers at school, to your friends, your peer group, everybody is defining you but you. Therefore, you get older in life and be like, man, I've been living this X amount of years trying to be what everybody else says I should be and who everybody else thinks should be and who I think I should be, trying to be like this person, that person. If you want your money to line up with your priorities, you have to clearly define for yourself once and for all who you are. And it's not easy because like when I start peeling back the layers of myself and I'm like, man, all these years you've been moving this way because of this. All these years you've been acting this way because of that. And I don't like none of that stuff. So I have to finally get to, this is who I am. And if you don't like it, kick rocks. And luckily for me, the number one person that I needed to like the real me actually still likes the real me, right?
There it is.
And that's my sugar. So everybody else can go kick some rocks. So I'll let you kick off the first one.
Sure.
Get going.
Sure. Okay. So number one, the first thing that you need to do to help determine if your finances are in alignment with your priorities is list your priorities, people. Ding. That's number one. You might notice different levels of priorities as you write yours down. Things like having a place to live and plenty of food to eat are your basic priorities. However, you'll most likely include some necessary priorities to ensure a strong future for yourself and for your family members, like maintaining good health or providing your kids with a good education. Also, list the things you love to do that seem like more luxury priorities, right? Like reading, traveling, or playing golf. These might be on a lower level of priority than your basic priorities, but nevertheless, they are still important to you. So you should definitely include those as well.
Yeah, I think that's important sometimes we get so
Major.
caught up in just trying to take care of the basics, food, clothing, shelter, and
Yep.
we, because of where our money is, right, right,
Mhm.
like Kevin Hart says, the way our bank accounts are set up,
Right. You hear me?
we tend to not even want to see those things. But no, for me, those things are the motivators, Michelle. It's like, okay, right now, the way my bank account is set up, I can't take my sugar on that trip to Hawaii where we kick back on the beach for a month and we just forget about the rest of the world. My money ain't
Uh,
set up like that, but I don't take that off the list. Matter of
right.
fact, that's high on the list so I can see it and let it drive me to say, listen, we got one of three choices. Either we reduce our spending, we either increase our income, or we do a
Mm-hmm.
combination of the both. So what we gonna do? We can't just not do anything and be like, okay, well, we can't afford it, so we're gonna take it off the list. No. One thing I know about psychology, our brains do not like incompletion. Our
Yep.
brains do not like unanswered questions. So instead of saying what you
Yeah.
can afford, ask yourself, how can you afford it? And I promise you, your brain is going to come up with some answers for you. Now, whether
Yep.
you want to execute on those answers, that's another thing because we get that too. Oh, how can I afford it? Oh, start a high side hustle. Oh, I ain't a business person. Well, stop asking me, your brain, who has infinite intelligence, to give you all the solutions you need.
Right.
And when I give you a solution, you shoot it down. Well, stop asking me then. Stop asking.
Stop.
That's what your brain is saying. Stop asking me.
Cut it. Cut it
You
out.
ask, how can I afford it? I told you, take that gift God gave you and
Yep.
create with it and take that to the marketplace, and you're going to be able to make some extra money so you can afford it. But then you
Absolutely.
got an excuse for every solution. So, my 2 cents on, don't take your luxury items off like most of us do. Let those drive you and figure out how you can afford those
Mm-hmm.
luxury items and go after it, right? Number two,
Absolutely.
this is a big one.
Yep.
Now, after you listed your priorities, write down how you spend your money. Where does it
Ugh.
go? And this is easy to do, y'all. This is easy to do for most of us because talking
We
about
can't handle the
psychology,
truth. We can't handle it.
a lot of us don't realize why we got debit cards, right? The
Too busy
psychology
dead.
behind a debit card. You got a debit card because when you swipe it, it doesn't feel like you're spending real money. So when they do studies on people who spend with cash versus who spend with plastic, people who spend with cash tend to count every penny more. People who spend with plastic are a lot more free with the swipe. So that's why you got a debit card,
Man.
right? But because you have a debit card, it's easy to see where your money is actually going. Because all
Yeah.
you got to do is print out your bank statements for the last 3 months, right?
Yep.
I did that,
Yep.
Michelle, and I saw where my money was actually going. I'm like, I got some subscriptions on here to some stuff that I don't even use. They hit my account for $20
Man.
a month, $14.99 here, $7.99 there. I'm like, man, what the heck is going on? I
Right.
literally found $100 per month when I did that, right?
Wow.
Even my son, when he was in college at UMKC, we went down there and he had some trouble with his phone. So we got him a new phone. Phone came with a Spotify subscription for 6 months for free. And then, of course, after the 6 months, it rolls into kicking
Start
in at
paying.
$9.99 a month. Right? I kept seeing that
Mhm.
$9.99 a month. I didn't know what the heck it was, and I had to get and inspect the gadget on the case, inspect the sugar. Hey, where is this $9.99 coming from? And she went through some hoops for 2 months, but she finally got it canceled. But think about where your money is actually going. You
Uh-huh.
might consider the
Yes.
type, size, and expense of your home and whether you've gone too far in terms of house expenses. This is one nobody wants to hear, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
You might need to downsize. You might need to downsize.
I did
Like
it.
come
Ugh.
on now. You got
I did it.
7 rooms and you only live in 3. What the heck is you got?
Thank you.
What, come on. Come
You know
on.
what? That's such a key statement because when my youngest went off to college, it was me and my oldest, but she pretty much was, gone, taking trips with her friends. And I said, why am I paying for house, lights, gas, you know, the mortgage bills, grass cuts, sewer, trash, all these extra bills, and headache. When they were gone most of the time, I'm gone a lot of the time. Why am I paying to heat this big ass house? No, I downsized. 2017, I downsized from a house to an apartment. I hadn't lived in an apartment in over 20 years. I downsized. And it works for me. I got 3 main bills: lights, gas, rent. I'm good.
Right.
You know, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But yeah, to $3,000 worth of bills a month, and I'm not married. Who needs that? Was too much. Too much. And my kids grown. Too much.
Too much.
Nope.
Too much. And people
swallow your pride.
I mean, it is serious, right? Same thing with your car. You might have too much car, and you don't need too much car, right?
Did that too.
Maybe a good portion of your dollars goes to the necessary expenses like groceries and paying your utility bills. But what else do you spend your money on, right? Another thing that was eye-opening when we looked at our statements on paper and we saw it in black and white, we used to always say this: we don't eat out that much. Yeah, let's see it on paper though. See it on prove that statement.
Right.
Seeing it on paper, and then all we see is Chick-fil-A, Panda Express.
Y'all bougie. What y'all boo? I don't try to throw Taco Bell in there. Chick-fil-A and Panda Express. Bougie eaters.
I'm telling you. And then not only that, Michelle, we were also buying groceries every month.
Oh yeah.
So think about this. We are spending. We got 5 sons, so we're spending $400-500 a month on groceries. Then, because of our schedule and our lifestyle, we would go and eat out and just buy, hot and ready pizzas and stuff 3 or 4 nights a week. So what were we doing with the groceries? Throwing them away.
Yeah, I've done that.
And this is where it goes back to your values. We could have easily said, listen, either we're going to eat out or we're going to buy groceries, but we ain't going to do both. And whoever don't like it, they can kick rocks. So, because we were eating out and buying groceries and then throwing the groceries away.
Yeah.
Because they would go bad.
That makes sense. Yep. That makes sense.
It's crazy. Do you play slot machines on Saturdays for fun and end up losing money? Maybe you love to shop and use shopping as a pastime that ends up costing you quite a bit. Perhaps you spend $20 a week on coffee or Starbucks. That ain't us, but we will spend $20 a week on lotto tickets. Bingo. We I mean that's our thing, right? Like they got their hooks in us, man. I be in them lines. I be like, man, Quick Trip is usually a quick trip.
Right. Until
you get behind somebody with them 11,000 lotto tickets.
Man, I hate it. Play this box, square, triangle. Give me that. Take it back around. Double it up. Single it up. Hate it. My daddy sends me to go play the lotto, but my daddy hit the lotto for $30,000. You know what I'm saying? My daddy hit 500 on the scratcher. He's just, I don't know if I want to call him blessed or lucky, since I'm gonna call him blessed since I don't believe in luck. He hits on the lotto, so he plays every week because he sends me to play his numbers. Now I am courteous enough to not go in y'all's Quick Trip. You're welcome. I go to a little small gas station on the side of the road, top they line. I don't go to Quick Trip. Make people like hard. Cut that out. Old people.
I'm telling you, I'll be like, because they got the stations and those Quick Trip workers be popping. Boom, 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 boom.
Man, boom, boom. Until you get one.
You got 2-3 of these guys. Oh, I got a whole stack of tickets.
Older people. I love my seniors, but come on.
And then it's not just play. It's I play. Oh, I won a little bit. Let me choose the scratches that I want to spend. Oh, come on. We done ran your numbers through the machine, and now you got to pick out. You got to stand here and see which card, and you got to do your whole routine because you got to pick the right one based on your psychology.
Then they turn around and look like, I'm sorry, y'all. You ain't sorry. You not sorry. Get out of here. They not. Yeah, we did a whole thing on laptop.
Yes.
The 3 singers that watch the show, they like, really? Okay.
That's how y'all feel about us? Right. Only when you're buying your lotto tickets. Other than that, we love you, sugar.
We love you. We sure enough love you. So we're going number 3. Finally, people, when all is said and done, compare your list. Okay. Take a look at your first list, the one with your priorities. Ponder each item. It's my pondering face. Ponder each item. Does every item accurately reflect what's important to you? Now examine your second list. Ponder again. Okay. The one showing where your money actually goes. Do the list appear connected? Does your money go mostly towards your priorities? You might just be shocked to learn, even though you listed certain priorities like providing a good education for your children or having a comfortable home, you're spending $100 plus a week on eating. $100 plus a week on eating out instead of starting an education fund. People do that? Okay. What if you listed reading as one of your priorities? Yet you nearly spend $100 a month on cable television. Get out my business. You don't even watch that much. Or if you do, it's the same 3 channels that you'd actually get on basic cable, on a basic cable plan, costing you less than $40 a month. That's so true. I just got hip to the digital box converter. Okay, I don't know where I've been. Okay, but so I was like, I didn't know what the hell it was, but it's an antenna, people. It's an antenna, and it opened up the world to about 40 to 45 channels that I was getting on cable, but I could get them for free. $3 and free cents. I'm getting it. All I got to do is take the antenna to the wall so it don't fall. Stand like this in the snowstorm or a rainstorm so I can get the channel clearly.
That's right.
Once you get past all that.
Yeah.
Free TV.
Once you figure out the system for your house, right? How do I point my antenna to the satellite based on where I live? See, in my side of town, it is pointed to the left and put one foot up. On your side of town, it might be pointed to the right and keep both feet on the floor. You just got to figure it out for your area. See, that satellite points different based on where you live. So find that.
There it is. I literally have it duct taped to my living room wall, and I'm looking real suspect right now. But I got clear TV. I was like, well, look at that. I got bounce, 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 bounce TV. Look at God. I got bounce TV. Yes. So in either case, you've got to ask yourself, what are my true and real priorities, and why, Lord, why aren't I putting my money towards the things that matter the most? Having great clarity and knowing your priorities and being conscious about how you spend your money will help you routinely place money towards what's really important to you. Then you'll like the way you feel about your finances. I need financial self-esteem. I have none right now. You'll like the way you feel about your finances as funds become available for your favorite non-essential things. Your favorite things.
Yes.
There it is.
I love it. And there's a couple things that I really, really want to touch on. And this is for the people who really want to go after that whole other life, right? This ain't for the people who are cool with their jobs. They are satisfied. They love where they are, and they're making more than enough. I'm talking about the people who are saying, bro, I want to travel the world 6 or 7 times before I die. I want to be able to go on cruises, and not just go on a cruise, but I want to go on a cruise and do all the excursions every time the boat stops, right? I want to go on vacation and be on a real vacation and not be caught up in my banking app counting my money as I'm on the vacation the whole time. Can we afford this, baby? No, I want to be on vacation. Like my girl Latanya Delos just put on her Facebook wall just yesterday, and I shared it. She said, if you want to live life or spend money without checking your bank account, then you have to put in work without checking your watch. See, we want to make the kind of money that these people are making who are going hard, but every time we get off into doing our side hustle, every time we get off to doing something extra to bring in some extra money,
what time I got to back off? Right. I got to go.
Entrepreneurship is a lifestyle. So 2 things. Number 1, if you don't like where you are. And I want to be clear about this. You can be thankful, grateful, and satisfied with where you are and still not like it, people. Don't let
Yeah.
dogma say that if you got a nice house and a car, you got food on your table, you should be content. Well, you can be content. I know that my guy owns everything. So if he owns everything, there's more for me to have if I should ask for it. And I
Yep.
know my father, when I ask for it, he says faith without works is dead. So if you do the work, mix that with your faith, then you can have what you ask for. And I'm asking for $1 billion enterprise to be built, starting with this podcast, right? So I got to do the work. So if you're trying to grow, Dr. George Fraser talks about this concept called the E to E ratio.
Mhm.
What is your education to entertainment ratio? That is this. When you say, hey, where I am right now, I want to be in a different place. And the difference between where you are right now and where you want to be is education. How much money are you putting into your education then?
Right.
If you want to be here and this is where you are, this gap is something that you don't know. So how much are you investing in what you don't know? Now, I used to tell people, cut your cable off, right? Save that little bit of money. I don't tell people
Right.
to cut the cable off now. I say, if you are spending $100 on your cable bill, are you spending $100 on your book bill? Are you
There it
spending
is.
$100 on your library bill? Are you spending $100 on your conference or your workshop bill where you go and learn that gap, the difference between where you are and where you want to be? I remember when Beyonce came to town and I saw some of the most beautiful pictures on Facebook and Instagram where moms were taking their
Yeah.
daughters to the show, right? And to
Uh-huh.
see the lemonade deal. And I was like, man, that's amazing because I know they're creating experiences with these girls. Like
Yeah.
literally, they were dressed up, hair, nails done, mom and two daughters. The ticket itself was $600-700 for 3 people. So I'm like, that's beautiful. But are you willing to spend that same $3,000 or $4,000 if this baby
Mhm.
came to you and said, Mom, I want to start this business?
Right.
Are you going to invest that same money in her
Mhm.
education as you will in her entertainment? Right.
Right.
So I just
That
think
makes good sense.
we got to focus on, if we want to grow, we want to have more, then we got to ask ourselves, are we willing to do more? Because the concept is be, do, have. I got to become first. Then I'm going to
Mhm.
do based on who I became so I can have what I want to have. If I want to be a millionaire, right, 7-figure entrepreneur, I first got to become a 7-figure human being. And a lot of people don't want to put in that work. You got to become the 7-figure human being so you can do the activities of a 7-figure entrepreneur and then do that activity long enough and you're going to produce the 7 figures, right? So
You say you wanted to be a 7-figure jigger.
right, that's it. That's it. I got to be a 7-figure jigger first, and then I can become a 7-figure entrepreneur.
I couldn't resist. Ah, my goodness. Yeah, numbers get me, and I didn't mean to check out, but I think halfway through that financial discussion, I was like, did you hear the crickets come out? I heard some crickets. I heard a few crickets. I was like, right. I heard it was like, release the hounds. No, and the crickets, because we're gonna both out. You know what? I will say this. I like what, all jokes aside, what you said about spending the equal. If you're gonna go out and party, spend that money on educating yourself, filling the gap, right? Because I don't think we consider that enough. And just for a person that is not, not everybody is astute in the financial area, but that's so practical. What you just said, that it can't help but hit your house, no matter who you are, numbers or not, loving it or not. Whatever you spend on, if I go to the Sugar Shack and get my shack on for the weekend, what am I doing during the week to invest in my education? What am I doing to invest in that thing that I want to grow my knowledge in and be better at, right? Whether it's Bible college or whether it is online marketing or another book or whatever. What am I doing to grow my education in that area? Because, you know, you can only, or I'm feeling, here you go, inspirational. You can only eat the fruit from a tree that you plant seeds from, right? So you can't expect to eat an apple if you ain't put no apple seeds in the ground.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't, and then you can't go and eat off somebody else's apple tree. They might give you one apple, but you gonna get hungry again. You know, it's that whole teach a man to fish thing, right? So it really does ring true for like what kind of life you want to have. Like I mentioned earlier, I've been working with my daughters on finance. Working with them on it to try to be more financially responsible. Okay, should you be out buying hair and weave and clothes when your car doesn't run right? No. Okay. Should you be out spending money on all these big whimsical things, even dare I say a birthday party for your mother's 50th, which I think was money well spent, but still, should you do that when you know that you have some items that you haven't paid off that you really should have paid off? You know, and it is the priority, because a lot of times I try to tell them, learn from my mistakes. We tell our kids that. I'm sure you tell your boys that as well, you know, and I'm like, my kids, when I was a kid, I had old school parents. They didn't let me see the struggle. I asked for it and they went out and they tried to get it, because I came from a 2-parent household, you know, and they weren't rich, but they made me feel like we wasn't poor. I was like, we poor? When did this happen? Because I ain't know nothing about it. Because I said my only thing, I might not have got top notch name brand, but most of the things, 90% of what I asked for, I got. And so I was shielded from that. But I was like, my kids not so much, because it was a single parent household. So it was like, we ain't got that. No, it's cold. Yeah, put a coat on in the house because it's cold in here. That's what we doing. You know, and so I'm like, if you don't want to repeat those things, you have to do something different. You don't just, you can't imagine and want it to be different. You got to actually put forth the effort to make a change in your financial responsibilities, habits rather. So you don't repeat the same mistakes.
And it's all habits, right? And it's not just the money either, Michelle. It's the time too, right? So this is where I didn't, like when I first started my business, I didn't have the money, but I had the time. And a lot of people say, well, you have to make time for different things. No, you don't make time. God already made the time.
Right.
Take time. And this is what most people don't want to do. I had to take time away from me watching television so that I can study digital marketing, online marketing, business, and how to build relationships and all that stuff. I had to take time from somewhere else and invest it in this over here, right? Because I didn't want to give up coaching youth basketball, right? Because I was working with the kids. I couldn't afford to give up my job at the time, but I knew I needed to be studying to create more income for our household. So what did I do? I took time from watching TV, right? Most fellas during this time of year will invest 15 hours into watching football.
Wow.
And listen, please don't come after me, because I'm not saying you don't watch football. Everybody needs their escapism. I get it. But watch this, Michelle. How about creating a lifestyle that you don't feel the need to escape from?
I'm about to turn my TV off. What you say?
I get it. I know that, bro. We all need to be able to come home and kick our feet up and check out for a couple hours, and we can watch these millionaires run up and down the field, and that gives us the checkout that we need, right? But you can also build an amazing life that is like, why would I want to check out from that? I'm like, come on now. So sometimes it's the time. The other thing that I did, Michelle, I took time from sleeping. I started getting up an hour earlier than I had to be at work. And I would put time in my business before I went to work. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody's got a 9 to 5. You got to have one in this day and age. And you got to have one and a side hustle if you're not careful. So here's the thing. You got a 9 to 5. Cool. And I often ask people, well, what are you doing from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.? Don't tell me, okay, well, Cortez, that's when I do with my family time, bro. That's when I take the kids to practice. That's when we sit down and have dinner as a family. I help kids with homework and all that stuff. Okay, I got it. Then I ask them, what do you do with your 9 to midnight? Oh, well, I got to get my 8 hours of sleep. I got to get my 8 hours of sleep. Okay, you got to get your 8 hours of sleep. So that means you sleep by 9. Then I hit them with this, Michelle. Then tell me what you're doing with your 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. If you got to get 8 hours of sleep, you went to bed at 9. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 8 hours of sleep. So why you can't get your butt up at 5 a.m. and put something in, read, listen, watch, study, do something, and you ain't got to get to work till 9?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you can't tell me if you want it, you can't make time to go get it.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying you must not want it that bad if you're not making those types of adjustments.
You know what? I will say, sir, that I will have to, when you say you concur, does that mean you agree or disagree?
That's agree. That's concur.
Okay. Well, I concur with what you're saying, sir. I concur just simply because we've had this discussion on many occasions. Like one of my good friends told me last night, she don't like money. She couldn't because she ain't out there. She know where the money resides. She ain't even going to their house. She know the address of where the money resides.
Or that address, and that's where the money resides.
And she know where the money resides. All she gotta do is pull up. She won't even pull up. She don't like money. It's got to be what it is. She's allergic. That's what it is. She's got a money allergy. And she make her itch or something, make her break out. It's got to be what's going on. However, I think I would get a cream for that. They got us too much stuff on the market for me to just stay like that. So I'm gonna get closer.
It's funny because there are people who are actually allergic to the sun, right? But they find ways to get out in the sun. Seriously, there's a small percentage of people in this world who are actually allergic to sun rays, right? And it's like, yeah, this sun killed me, but you know what? I got to go outside. I got to go outside.
All of a sudden you hear bacon frying. What is going on? Y'all smell it? Oh, that's Bert over there enjoying the sun he's supposed to be in. He over there frying. Sorry, Bert. Nice knowing you. Yes, I mean, I think we just, for me, I know it is facing my fears financially, right? Because again, I think all of us, and we said this on the show before, all of us have the ability and the power because God gave it to us. We all have the ability to get well. The Bible says it is God that gives you the ability to get well. Come on. You know what I'm saying? It is God who gives you the ability to get well. And if you have this relationship with God, I said this to somebody, I think I said it on the show before, but when you have that relationship with God, you transform that relationship from being, okay, he's God, he's the creator, and I'm the created. You transform that relationship to he's God the Father, and I am his child. That kind of makes it more real. When God says, I give you the ability to get well. He's my Father. So he gives me the ability to get well. So why wouldn't I have well?
Yeah.
It ain't him.
Think about it in a secular realm, right? If I'm, let's say, Dave Stewart's son, right? Dave Stewart, founder of Worldwide Technology, worth about $6-7 billion.
Dave, right? What up? Right.
I'm Dave Stewart's son, and I walk into a room and announce that I'm Dave Stewart's son. There is a certain amount of weight that comes with me being the son of a billionaire. Now, if in the secular world, I can name drop my biological father's name, who's only, and I say only in context to what God owns, because 8 billion, 7 billion, 6 billion ain't nothing to sneeze at, right? Who's only responsible for a net worth of 4 or 5 billion. And in a secular world, I can name drop that and get a certain amount of respect and bring a certain amount of resources to myself because I'm associated with, I'm a child of that. How much more so when I name drop the owner of everything, right?
Everything.
When I bring
All
that
cattle.
to the table,
Thousand Hills. There it is.
that,
there
my
it
friend, is what we have the ability to do. But we
Yeah.
don't often do it because if I start name dropping that, then there's a certain responsibility that I'm held to. Same way if I start dropping, if I'm Dave Stewart's son, and I drop that, hey, I'm Dave Stewart's son of a billionaire, there's a certain amount of responsibility. Oh, you son of a billionaire, then you should have this level of intellect. You should be this, you should be that. When I start dropping that I'm son of the Most High, then there's a certain level of expectation that comes
accountability.
with that.
Accountability.
Yeah. And people like,
Man.
nah, God ain't my father. God is just a creator. But when he becomes your father, like you said, now I have a responsibility to want to make him proud. So I got to walk a certain way, I got to talk a certain way, I got to act a certain way, I got to behave a certain way. And when I do that, and when I proclaim that that is who I am associated with, then that becomes another way that people judge and hold me accountable. And a lot of us just don't want that level of accountability, and it's cool.
Scared of it. Scared of it. Yeah, that's a whole nother show. I want to jump into some weighted stuff. First of the year. I know we're coming to a close now. First of the year, I want to dig deep, and I want to pull people into some of them discussions. Why aren't we more spiritually accountable? What makes people afraid? And I want to uncover some of the stigmas behind being a Christian. I want to uncover some of the stigmas behind people who look at church folk and point a finger. And I want to uncover some of the stigmas at church folk that look at outsiders or people in the world and point a finger. Real quick, me and my guy was watching Fighting Temptations last night. And there's so many cliche church things in that movie. You know, that's the movie with Beyonce and Cuba Gooding. Yeah, and there's so many church cliches in that. You know, there's so many churchy things in that. Ooh, you can't come into church doing that. Ooh, you a sinner doing that. And then they proved the message at the end, but it still was very watery. I want to get past that watery version. I want to get into the thick of it. You know, because I don't really think that people are having that discussion enough. Number one, because they're afraid to go there. They're afraid of ruffling feathers. They're afraid of cynicalism. And yeah, there are people out there that are cynical, and they're gonna be out there till Jesus come back.
They're afraid of getting canceled, Michelle. We in cancel culture.
Well,
listen, we just getting started, and now you finna start some mess that's gonna get us canceled. That's what they're afraid of. Getting canceled up in this piece. Oh, y'all heard what they did on the Untitled podcast? And it's like two people outside my house talking about cancel Cortez Hustle.
Right.
Like,
and with their picking sides like they did Florence and Police. Woo, man.
Don't nobody know to cancel me but you, because y'all don't know who watch. So, so if you say I'm canceled, we cancel. You don't got to tell nobody else. It's just y'all two.
I can't with you, but that we go get into that. We might as well. They can't get us all. If they cancel you, then I'm still over here. Then they come get me. You still over there. They can't whoop us both at the same time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully you guys got some insight into getting your spending priorities in order, doing some things to add sources of income to your life, changing, growing, elevating yourself. Don't be afraid of what other people might say or think. The most important thing is what you say or think about yourself. So until next time, get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you.